45%. That's not some optimistic goal. That is the mandated reduction in material costs for Rivian's new R2 platform. It's not a target, it's a declaration of war on complexity, an engineering mandate that will literally decide if Rivian thrives or dies in this new electric age.
This is Auto Read. We decode the machines and the markets that move the world.
So for Rivian, hitting this 45% number, it's not optional. It is the absolute core of their strategy. It's how they plan to pivot from a high-burn startup, just bleeding cash, into a profitable, scalable automaker. And the R2? Well, that's the machine they've designed to pull it off.
And listen, according to the technical data from the 2027 Rivian R2 engineering breakdown, this isn't about just squeezing suppliers for better prices. No, this war on cost is being won through fundamental, first principles engineering. It's all about owning the entire stack, top to bottom.
You can see the strategic shift pretty clearly, right? The R1, that was the halo car, the proof of concept. But the R2, that's their weapon for the volume game. This is the vehicle that's been engineered from the ground up to actually make money, to hit gross margin positivity, and to take on the global mass market. And they're aiming to do it with a starting price of around $45,000.
Okay, so how are they doing this? Well, the first pillar of what we're calling their revolution by subtraction is a really radical simplification of two things: the vehicle's physical structure, its skeleton, if you will, and its entire electrical architecture.
Let's look at the skeleton first. Now, as it's been documented in company filings and even confirmed by the CEO, the rear body of the R1 was, it was a complex assembly of something like 50 separate stampings and over 300 joints. The R2, it just throws all of that away, replacing that complexity with just 3 high-pressure die castings. That one move simplifies assembly, cuts weight, and makes the whole thing stronger, all in a single stroke.
And they're applying that exact same logic to the vehicle's nervous system. The R1's architecture was domain-based, using 17 separate ECUs. By moving to what's called a zonal architecture, the R2 cuts that number down to just 7. This localizes control and just completely slashes the wiring complexity.
And what's the real-world result of that? Well, the data, corroborated by a popular science report, How Rivian Reduced Electrical Wiring, shows this zonal approach physically removes 1.6 miles, yes, miles, and 44 pounds of copper wiring from every single vehicle. That's huge.
In a simplification like that, it just creates this cascade of benefits, right? You're talking about a 20% savings in material costs right there, a 15% smaller carbon footprint, way fewer potential points of failure, and it makes diagnostics and service massively simpler. It's just a complete, holistic engineering win. All right, that was the skeleton and nervous system. The second major pillar of their strategy is taking full vertical control of the powertrain, the very heart of the machine. And the goal here is to unlock some absolutely monumental gains in both cost and performance. Now, according to the technical data from that same 2027 Rivian R2 engineering breakdown, the evidence here is just stark. The new Maximus drive unit is 40% more power dense, which is great, but look at the simplification on the manufacturing side. The number of stator welds plummets from 264 down to just 24. That's an order of magnitude reduction in complexity. And think about all the potential failure points that just disappear.
So how did they pull that off? It comes down to a really clear design philosophy. They use continuous winding in the stator, which is what eliminates those hundreds of welds. The inverter gets moved to the side, giving it a lower profile, and it's integrated onto a single circuit board. Then, the rotor and gear become one single forged component. And get this, the inverter's own lid acts as the mount for the entire drive unit. The bottom line? A unit that's a full 30% cheaper to produce.
And this whole philosophy of integration, it goes all the way down to the electrochemical foundation, the 4695 cylindrical cell. At 46 by 95 millimeters, this larger format, it's the fundamental building block of the entire R2 platform, and really, its entire cost structure.
You see, as it's detailed in Hystar's 46 series battery analysis, this larger cell gives them a 6-fold increase in energy capacity compared to the old 2170 cells. And what does that mean? It means you need fewer cells, fewer connections, and just way fewer components to manage inside the battery pack. But here's the crucial part.
These four 695 cells are integrated into a structural pack. The top of the pack literally is the vehicle floor. Now, this isn't just some clever packaging trick. It's a multifaceted engineering triumph. It actually increases the vehicle's torsional stiffness by 22%, improves the efficiency of assembling the pack by 45%, and it's what enables that targeted range of over 300 miles.
So when you look at it, the R2 is really an exercise in engineering purity. But now comes the ultimate test, its entry into the mass market. Can this whole revolution by subtraction actually compete at scale?
Really, the question is this brilliant engineering doctrine enough to win the volume game against the established global leader in this space?
I mean, if you look at the head-to-head, the price points are going to be nearly identical. But it's clear the R2 is attacking what you might call the adventure gap that the Model Y has pretty much ignored. We're talking over 3 inches more ground clearance, semi-active dampers, and a brand that's built from the ground up on utility. Rivian is definitely carving out its own distinct identity here.
So, in the end, the R2's success really hinges on 2 things. First, they have to execute flawlessly on the manufacturing side. And second, they have to offer a truly compelling alternative identity in a market that's just been so defined by Tesla. It really is a battle of engineering against brand dominance.
So the question that's really going to define the next decade of the EV market is this. Is Rivian's radical simplification enough to build a real moat against the sheer scale and pricing power of the established EV Goliath? For data-driven automotive analysis, support our work by subscribing to AutoRead. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.